Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Well, you know I'm a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've recently made my own Egyptian God card deck. So I thought I'd show you my Slifer the Sky Dragon deck profile. And if you wait a moment while I separate the cards. Okay, I'm back. And to start off with, we'll start with the monsters. Now, this is just my deck profile, and I should tell you that this, in a lot of the practice duels I've had, I've bricked easily, but I will explain the thoughts behind this. So first, of course, 2 Slifer the Sky Dragons. Preferably you'd want to play 3, but I only have 2 copies of Slifer. Mare, really just for the tokens to get Slifer out. Royal Magical Library. 3 of these are a must, and they do not have a once per turn, so you can basically play anytime a spell card is activated, put a spell counter on this, pop 3 spell counters, draw 2 cards. And you'll find out why this is a mandatory 3 in this deck in a moment once you see the list of spell cards. Electromagnetic Turtle. When this card's in the graveyard, you can basically completely shut down your opponent's battle phase. You can only use this card's effect once per duel, but I only have 1 Electromagnetic Turtle, hence why only 1 of these is in the deck. I'd play 2 if I had them. And of course, we have the 3 Royal Magical Libraries for their draw effects. 3 Ra's Disciples. Again, this is a support card for pretty much all of the Egyptian gods. Summon 1 Ra's Disciple. His ability lets you special summon the other 2. However, you cannot special summon or pretty much do any other summons the turn you activate this card's effect. Unless... and this card cannot be tributed except for an Egyptian god card. You cannot special summon monsters. Okay, you can still normal summon, which is going to be important with the spell cards later on. So 3 Ra's Disciples. Scapegoat. Flip summon this. Basically, you get as many counters, Scapegoat counters, as you have monster zones open. So you could even, I don't know, use this to link off a bunch of monsters as well, if you wanted to. Angel 01. Special summons from your hand by revealing 1 level 7 monster. Gives you an extra tribute summon that turn. So, summon that. Like, you have this in your hand and you've played Ra's Disciple. Reveal this, reveal the Slifer, sacrifice the Ra's Disciple, summon Slifer. Special summon this, and I guess special summon that in defense mode. You have defense. Reactor Slime, again, mainly there for the token ability. The tokens are there to get Slifer on the board. Then we have the spell cards. The reason I'm only running 1 Thunder Force attack is because I only have 1 copy of this card. 2 Soul Crossing, because I only have 2 copies of this card. Plus, it lets you get your God card out by sacrificing your opponent's monster. So, I guess 3 would traditionally be mandatory. Supply Squad for draw power plus to trigger off. You'll notice the sheer thickness of the amount of spell cards I'm running. This is all spell cards. These are all spell cards that let you either draw more cards or just spell cards that are there to mill through the deck to get Royal Magical Library to get Slifer. So I have 2 copies of Supply Squad, 2 copies of the Mound of the Bound Creator. Again, let you get Slifer in your hand when it's destroyed. Let you search a Divine Beast when it's destroyed. Plus, fodder for Magical Library. Terraforming to get to Mound of the Bound Creator. Pot of Avarice for the draw ability. And to help you prevent decking out as easily. Double summon because it lets you have a second normal summon that turn. Again, Ra's Disciple, double summon into Slifer. Pot of Duality for the search ability. Supply Squad for search. Royal Magical Mallet, again, search and milling your deck. It increases your odds of summoning Slifer. Monster Reborn, because pretty much it's Monster Reborn. Self-explanatory why it's in there. Summon Slifer from the graveyard. 1 turn win. Pot of Duality. You're running 3 copies of Pot of Duality. 1 copy of Upstart Goblin for the draw power. This is the only copy of Pot of Extravagance I have, and I'm only running 1 in the deck because I only have 1 copy. Dark World Dealings. I'm running 3 of these. Again, it's fodder to activate Royal Magical Library. Magical Mallet. Again, draw power. Hand Destruction, draw power. Card of Destruction, draw power. Wonder Wand, equip this to Royal Magical Library. Sacrifice it and Royal Magical Library once it's ran out of counters. Draw 2 extra cards. This is really good if you're going to run the True Name, which I think I'm running in my side deck. Basically, card advance, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put them in any order, and you get an extra tribute summon that turn. Auto Duality. And of course, we're running Harpy's Feather Duster and 1 Raigeki. 1 of each. Raigeki is at 3 copies right now. But, Harpy's Feather Duster is still at 1. This is both fodder and good for destroying back row. Of course, Raigeki for destroying your front row. The 3rd, Dark World Dealings. And Reload because draw power. This whole deck is about drawing into Slifer and getting him on the field first turn. Because then basically Slifer can just keep destroying your opponent's monsters every time they're summoned and they can't use their abilities if they get destroyed. Then we have Ultimate Divine Beast because it's pretty much the only trap card in the deck, and I'm actually thinking about side decking this for another spell card and just running almost a pure spell and monster deck. The extra deck is literally just here for Pot of Extravagance to trigger off. However, there are a few cards that I actually feel like I can summon with this deck. And that is, first one, Ravenous Croco Dragon Arctheus. Gains 500 attack for each card in your hand. You can only use this effect. This is basically a synchro version of Slifer, honestly, except for the destruction part. If this card is synchro summon, you can draw cards equal to the number of non-tuner monsters used for this thing. So if I get Mare and Scapegoat down on the field, I can basically just lower Mare's level to 1 and use Scapegoats as tokens and probably draw about 3 or 4 cards off of summoning this. Bellcat Fighter, literally because I can use Scapegoat, I can flip summon Scapegoat and make this. Defender of the Labyrinth, again, because I can get rid of my tokens if I don't need them. Drill Drive Vesperanto, the most powerful card in my extra deck. And it's literally there so I don't have to destroy number 41 Babushka the Terrierly Typer Tapir by saying his name 10 times fast. Then we just have literal random. I literally just picked all of these at random just to fill out my extra deck so I could use Pot of Extravagance. And I know what y'all are going to say when you see my extra deck. There's the 3rd I thought I had 3 copies of this card in my deck, but I must have side-decked it on accident. Pot of Desires are side-decked because literally I don't like the idea of banishing cards from my deck because this card doesn't really work well in this deck. The whole point is to mill through the deck, but use the cards to trigger off Royal Magical Library's effect to mill through the deck. So, 3 Pots of Desires, Fist of Fate for Obelisk. Yes, I am running the Winged Dragon of Ra. And I'm running 3 copies of Obelisk, the Tormentor, in my side deck. Literally, I could switch out the Slifer engine and put Obelisk in here. It will work similar to my strategy, but of course, Obelisk doesn't have the same effect as Slifer, the Sky Dragon. As in, where he gets to destroy the monsters as you play. Obelisk, you need to tribute 2 of your own monsters in order to play off his effects. So, Slifer is, in my opinion, the better God card if you're going to build a going first deck strategy. Then we have Divine Evolution. Not really sure how to use this card, so that's why it's been side decked. And of course, we have the Mound of the Bound Creator, which I'm going to take out Ultimate. I'm going to take Ultimate Divine Beast out. There. My deck is officially nothing but monsters and magic cards. Or spell cards, as you have to forgive me. I was pretty much taught in the I was pretty much taught how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! By someone who grew up calling these magic cards and not spell cards. So my deck is literally just monsters and magic cards. But that is my Slifer the Sky Dragon deck profile. If y'all want to use it, or you think there's a way to improve on my deck profile, comment down below. If I can formulate the fucking sentence. I know I'm not a Yu-Gi tuber, but I do love Yu-Gi-Oh! So, there's my Slifer the Sky Dragon deck profile. And like I said, if you can figure out a way to make this more competitive, or you can find out a way to improve it, you're welcome to it. I'm literally posting this deck profile for the sole purpose of somebody to look at it and give me advice on how to make it better or how to make it flow better. And I know there are a lot of new support cards for the God cards, but I don't have them. I probably would have had them if I had, because I bought like $100 worth of tins, and if I had paid attention and bought the right tins, I probably would have had those support cards, and those support cards would have been in the deck. I know there are competitive Winged Dragon of Ra decks, but I've never been much on Ra. I was always, my favorite God card is actually Slifer, the Sky Dragon. That's my favorite God card, as you can tell from the deck profile. But I've rambled on enough. So until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai, tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe when using your weapons, and may the heart of the cards be with you. I'm out. Peace.